What is going on, everyone? My name's Boyd, and I'm back with some more Age Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the bottom of the map in the blue color, playing as Isis. His name is Shelty. His opponent today in the top of the map. His opponent today in the red color, in the top of the map, other side of the map, whatever you want to say. Playing Zeus. His name is Player. The map is Anatolia. It's the best of 3 for the Vubly Champions League season number 2. Had an absolute ton of good games so far. And I'm hoping we'll be able to experience a ton more. We've got the classic Zeus versus Isis on Anatolia. Now, we saw this matchup before. Can't remember who was playing it. But we saw the we saw Isis versus Zeus. This is very much in my mind recently. Who we watched, but player, one of the more strong Zeus players, going to be coming at this one. We'll see what he's going to come up with in this matchup, because Isis is an absolute beast on this map. Because you get access to both the sides of the water, you get all the dock spammage, all of the things that make Isis stronger, and we will see how Shelty does this. We haven't actually seen Shelty going Egyptian in this tournament just yet. So, interesting to see him switch up into it. I'm genuinely surprised to see him not try Norse here, because he knows player's not going to play Egyptian, and I feel like his Thor or Shelty's Thor would be a very, very difficult god to crack on this map if it's not against Isis or even just not against Egyptian, because Egyptians do reign supreme on this map. But I feel like Thor is actually not a bad option here. But we'll see how his Isis is going to do. We'll see what player's going to come up with. Personally, I love against Isis players here. I think it's very, very strong to do either semi-fast heroics or fast heroics with Zeus here. And 3 Dionysus, and you get those Scala out. Now, Scala aren't as strong as they used to be back in the day. They do cost 20 favor. They have a longer train time. If we check them out quickly, we can show them off. Apparently they're still 5 seconds, but okay, never mind. They do take 20 favor to train instead of the 15 favorite they used to. But player's starting to pump out his fishing ships. He should have fishing ships over here as well. And let's turn this on so we can see all the good things. So he should be getting out 9 fish on both sides. We see a house coming down for player over here already, and then he'll chuck the dock down. I like that house there as he's waiting for the wood to get up to the for the dock and everything else, and he needed it anyways. So nice play there. Player going to throw his dock up, have control of this side of the map. Shelty going 2 docks on this in the top side of the map here. I'm not sure if that's quite standard, because you want to get the fishing ship started over here earlier. We do see a villager making his way over there. The Katoskopos does spot it, getting turned back the other way. So we'll see if this villager wants to make her way down and start shanking this laborer or not, because that could be a really, really strong use of that unit. Alternatively, player could throw a temple down over here and go Athena and start pressuring this side of the water and win it very, very quickly, if that's something he wants to try and do. But I think he's throwing the temple down in his base, which is a safer thing to do and a sadder way to play, but it is what it is. And now we see villagers popping up, moving forward, looking to build some houses around here just in case Shelty player decides to go for a rush here, an Athena rush. But there's 2 gold mines, 2 towers defending it nicely. This gold mine is sort of sticking out, so Odysseus can be a little bit of a pain, but this gold mine, very, very safe. And I love that Shelty went for this gold mine first. So that way, if he gets pushed off it, he's got a safe one back here to go for. Oftentimes that gets overlooked. We see Shelty going to be finishing up with those villages fairly soon, chucking the temple up. Still a very late advance time because he threw these docks up in sort of the wrong order. You want to go 2 docks, then temple, then the rest of your docks, generally, if you want to get a faster advance time. Now, player, on the other hand, should be advancing as he's getting an extra villager out instead of advancing there. I was a bit surprised about that one there. But it should have gone up at 4:15. He's going for a 4:30 or just delayed 4:30 with a lot of docks. He's going to have almost 6 docks up That's pretty wild, to be honest. He's going to have all these fishing spots ready to defend, and it's going to be just exactly the same as what Shelty's got. So Shelty's going to have 6, and I imagine Player's going to attempt to have 6 as well. Does have a lot of villagers on gold. This is simply just so that Player can get out purse scene very quickly. I like to go almost 9 villagers on gold until I have the 150 gold for purse scene, and then take 2 villagers off and go over to wood. And that can be really, really strong. But Hermes is on the way, and Bast is on the way for Shelty. And we see the monuments of the villagers coming up as well. And the priest roaming around looking for things to do. Well, not really. He's just kind of hanging in the base. Not sure what he's doing, but he's chilling. That's all that matters. Now we see Hermes is almost through. Got a Jason queued up with the villager. We've got hand axe, pickaxe coming through for Player. And Shelty not getting anything. Did he get his upgrades? Ooh, there's no hand axe. Uh-oh. Persian coming through though for Player, and really not have hand axe. How do you forget hand axe? Well, Persian coming through for Shelty as well. Players will come through first. And we've got some triremes starting to come out as well. So Player not going for the fast heroic. But he may go for a semi-fast heroic. You see how much food he's already got. Just pump villagers straight over onto gold here. And you can get a really, really good heroic age armory. Just about to come up. You see the Sphinx looking for some raids. There is a bolt to be used, but honestly, you kind of want to save the bolt if you can. If you have to bolt the Sphinx because you can't be boldly getting the Jason out, that means you have to deal with a Scorpion Man or deal with the Son of Osiris, you know? And that's not something you really want to do. We see the Jason and Center coming to check this out. We've got the armory coming up now for Shelty, who's starting to get the food here. Does he have... He still doesn't have pickaxe. I mean... I guess it's going to speed up his heroic age marginally because he's had a ton less wood than he otherwise would have. And Player has so much food in the bank here because of all of his fishing ships. He's up 2 fishing ships on Shelty as well. For whatever reason, we do see this fishing ship just about to be pushed back. Nice micro from Player. We see Shelty able to control that nicely as well, garrisoning the fishing ship into the dock. And now Shelty going to win this side a little bit as Player's not paying attention. He does pull back to his dock. And he's going to sit there underneath this dock and feel very, very good about himself and where he's at. And do we see Player? What did he do? Is he advancing? He's going through Dionysus. Dionysus is the god of choice. Shelty should be advancing fairly shortly. Still pumping out those cabinets, but it's a sort of a late. I want to say it's slightly late. As soon as you hit 800 food, you want to be advancing. And it looks like he's just about to get there. He's cancelled the villages and he's going to be advancing. So he's going through Sekhmet, going to have access to the Ancestors Eclipse. Going to have access to those Leviathan as well if he wants to build those out to counter the Scala a little bit. Alternatively, you can get a heroic fleet or whatever. The upgrade's called... It is heroic fleet. It just gives you a 150% bonus against myth units in order to counter those. We do see a barracks coming up for Shelty. A little bit strange. Generally speaking here, the ISIS player basically just wants to go Migdol units. He is building a couple of priests out in order to deal with the impending Hydra. And I'm not sure where the Sphinx went. Was it killed? Oh, there he is. Sphinx chasing down the center. He does have a slight speed advantage here, so he will be able to get up and hit this one. And basically, the speed advantage is only enough to get off the special ability, right? So as soon as the Sphinx comes over, gets the special ability, then gets that all the way back here, and then has to catch up again. But Dionysus has come through. We see the archer ships coming through. We haven't got any attempted at anything other than these Scala, and they build so quickly. He's going to get 3 out instantly and absolutely decimate this side of the water. Player should very, very simply just throw up a market now and go Mythic Age. And that way he's going to have access to... He could either go Hera, or he could go for the Medusa, or he could go literally whatever he wants. He does... What is this bronze? Pushing through, the bronze keeps the trireme alive, but that surely have... Is that a misclick? Now the Scala are going to just completely decimate this. The trireme can kill off these ramming galleys very, very quickly. And player going to be winning this fight very strong. We see the Migdol Stronghold coming up in the middle of the map here. Spearman starting to get made. We've got some Hippocon coming out for player. Still no market for player, so it doesn't look like he's interested in the Mythic Age here. The Hydra spots this. Gonna have to get pushed back by those priests. So much damage dealt. The Hydra could actually come over it. Well, it's only a wolf here. There's no... Where's the deer? He could have come over to the deer here and shot those down and potentially gotten like 3 heads out before he even joined the fight. But now he's like half dead from those priests. So nice play from Shelty in order to stay alive here. But player absolutely decimating this. He's not paying attention though over here. The archer ships getting targeting down the dock instead of those Pentacontas here. There we go. He's deciding. Oh, he's running away from the. Oh, those are. I'm an idiot. Those are ramming ships. Meanwhile, over here, we see the cabinets pushing through. Yeah, it's going to be able to stop or slow players' food down just a little bit. Spirited Charge, Sultan 4 coming through for player. He's going to be having heavy Hippocon as well. So that's going to be really huge. He's going to have access to Thracian horses very shortly. He just needs another 10 favor out and he'll be able to get those. We do see the units of Shelty moving around. We see the market coming up as well. That's going to be huge because that's going to threaten Mythic Age. And Hera is definitely a good god to be going here, but the villagers are going to get attacked here. Nice micro from, or reaction, I should say, from player. There's the Ancestors Eclipse in player's base. The villagers simply just going to retreat. I would run these villagers out this way immediately. Exactly. We see the attack coming in over on this location while that's going on. Heracles dealing with these spearmen nicely. We don't have Thracian horses just yet. Still needs a little bit more, but the Hippocon coming in, dealing a lot of damage. We see the Migdol Stronghold targeting down the Odysseus instead of the Hippocon. A little bit of a mistake there, but these Hippocon getting cleaned up as it seems the unit composition here from Shelty a little bit too strong. The Ancestors coming over and they're hitting the wood villagers. Player didn't respect the Ancestors here as they come in and clean up a ton of villages. You can see villager count now for player is at 30. Even though he's got 18 fishing ship, he's at 30 villages, which is a lot of an advantage for Shelty here, or somewhat of an advantage here for Shelty. And players got no real... Well, he's got a ceasefire he can use. So we'll see if he wants to go that way. The player is grabbing the gold nicely over here. Ancestors just about to finish. We do have a bolt which player can use onto one of these Scorpion Men if he so chooses. He has 4 of these stables here. Going to be sending those villagers over onto the wood. Still doesn't get that favor out. We see the bolt onto the Scorpion Man as the Spearman going to be getting pushed back by these Hippocon. Still no second town center from Shelty, no second town center from player. And Shelty's really hurting right now for resources to do anything like that. So we see what he's going to be doing. We've got another barrier, or we've got a marker coming up in the middle of the map for Shelty, potentially going to be able to trade from the middle of the map to his home town center, or this town center here, I guess. Now we see the Hippocon coming in, another Scorpion Man out. Scorpion Men are such difficult units to deal with because they tank a lot of damage, they deal a lot of damage, and for Greek you basically need Odysseus, and Heracles is out, so he's going to be able to tank a ton. Looks like players utilizing a little bit of that advantage from 5.0 with the Heracles costing wood now, so a little bit less food, a little bit more wood, so still 350 resources, but a little bit more quality of life for those resources, and wood does gather a little bit faster, so that's obviously a little bit better. We see the units struggling to come through. Nice micro from player to bring these spearmen away from the chariot archers, and the Hippocon going to be able to push in and deal so much damage. We still don't see Thracian horses, but at this point it doesn't matter as much. We see the town center in the middle of the map is going up for Shelty, so he's got 2 town centers here. And we'll see what player's going to do. Player's short on gold, throwing up a stable. We see the ramming galleys going to town on this. Player is not thinking about getting these docks over here. He should try and sneak a villager over there and get a dock up, because if he gets that there, he can fish up all these spots as well and have a lot of food. There's the Thracian horses coming in for player, so his cavalry are going to start being incredibly strong. These Scorpion Men do a lot of damage still though, but Heracles and Odysseus dealing with this very, very nicely. If we look at the population, it's 104 population for player to 120 population for Shelty, so a little bit of advantage there. Player with a lot of wood in the bank. He might want to consider getting the town center now, because he's looking like he's going to have a very very difficult time getting to the Mythic Age here. We do see the Odysseus sniping down the Scorpion Man, the Hippocon coming through in to attempt to take these Chariot Archers down, but he's still flooding units in, and there's just so many units here for Shelty. Player needs to get out of here. He's sort of making a misstep here as Shelty's got plenty enough fire to defend, and player is short on gold. Does he have Shaft Mine? No Shaft Mine. And again, Shaft Mine is one of those upgrades for the Nilacivs which you cannot pass up. It's an absolutely insane technology, and while it seems like it's only 10% bonus, it's also gives you carry capacity, which changes how many animations you have to do, and really, basically, it's all about the animation for how much percent you go up, and it's a lot. There's a document which, if I remember, I'll put it in the description, or if you bug me enough, I'll put it in the description, which shows you exactly how much those upgrades are worth. But meanwhile, looks like player has caught out Shelty yet again with the Hippocon, and Shelty decides in that moment that he cannot win because the Thracian Horse Hippocon too strong, and this is exactly what I'm talking about in this matchup. It's not a free win for Isis. Zeus has got plenty of options here. Player with the Skylar comes through, completely decimates this side. Shelty has to spend a lot more resources and time to take out this side. And then player had two options here. He could have gone Heroic. He could have gone Mythic Age. Either he could have gone Hera, he could have gone Hephaestus. It probably would have been okay. Or he does this Thracian Horse Hippocon. If he had bronze here, he didn't need to use bronze over here, but if he had bronze for this army as well a little bit earlier, this game would have been dare I say over it like 10 minutes or something, or maybe 12 minutes or something, just after the Ancestors Eclipse was down, because a bronze timing to push through here with Thracian horses, ouch, would be very, very difficult for Shelty to get gold mines in the middle. And but player plays this one incredibly well and takes the first game in this series. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow button on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.